There we go. And anyone have any? I'm tired. I look terrible. I didn't do nothing much to myself. I did bathe. That counts. Um, I put perfume on. I got perfume. Can you smell it?
We always say, no,
There you go.
you're always beautiful.
That's funny. It's nice seeing everybody again. Marsh is with us, and she's in the it's your phone, Marsh? We'll get back to you.
No, it's okay. I'm not answering it.
Oh, okay, good. And Dick and Marcia, you want to give us a little update on what's going on with you guys?
Well, I'm exhausted.
Look exhausted.
I'm doing better, I guess. Dick is doing, let him tell you, he's doing marvelous.
Doing very good.
Yeah, you look like
Yeah,
it.
that could tell me.
Loved hearing that.
And Martha, we got more boxes for you.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, you know, I haven't done is sent Michael over there to you. You guys were wanting to see, you were needing Michael to come over. I forgot. I'm sorry. Okay, let's go to the desktop here. Let's share a sound. And did any of you guys notice that they're doing a Zoom from inside the room that's Meltdown Challenge sponsored? They have it posted in there. I think it's, might even be tonight. We'll take a look at it when we're in there. We don't grow when things are easy. We grow when we face challenges, and that's definitely for sure. I wanted to talk a little bit about Tony and what went on with him and how he would find himself in that kind of condition. We eat very well and we do our water, and I think the challenge has really created a lot of good habits in our life that we are very fortunate that we enjoy health every day. Here he is in the condition he got in yesterday and taking him to the hospital like that, and it is something that could have been avoided. So you have to ask yourself what to do in the future. When we started looking at what could have possibly led to that, I think stress is a real big factor in it. His son's been here for like 3 weeks, and it doesn't have to be bad stress. It can be good stress. And he's definitely been stressed to the max, having a great time and taking every moment he could to spend with his son. He's been going out and eating and having hamburgers, which we don't do ground beef. And so I would think that might have contributed to it. 4 days ago, they gave him a pain pill for his hands, and he only took it for 2 days. That could have contributed to it. He wasn't drinking his water the way that he should. So now he's going around and saying, these are all the things that I could do to avoid this from ever happening to me again. And it's a little late after you go through something like that. But when you go through something like that, it makes you more vigilant, or more mindful. And I think what we're doing.
Connie, what happened to him?
Huh?
What happened to him, Connie?
He ended up impacted. He had a ball formed the size of a baseball. And, he couldn't urinate. The bladder was completely filled, backing into the kidney, which could have caused him kidney damage. And they, of course, put a cath in, drained his bladder, no kidney damage, and the impact was removed violently. But he is now going to make sure he does not go through any of this again. But this is what happens for us when we're in the healthy challenges. It's always right there present in front of us, the things we can do to avoid things like this. I think it was more him losing the mindfulness of what we practice every day and being careless. And at 84, it costs you more to be careless. And your immune system is on a budget. So when you overstress your immune system, it can't take care of everything that's going on. And so between the stress, the pain pills, the not eating correctly, not getting the amount of water, he eventually overloaded himself, and it showed up in the form of the disease that he got. But that's going to be true of all of us, and all of us have conditions that we're dealing with. And what we have to do is look at those conditions and then learn to manage them the best way possible. And of course, healthy habits and losing weight are really big in that. Anyone have anything they want to say before we get started with our little PowerPoint?
I do.
Okay.
I wanted to share when we went to see my grandma this past week. We went to eat at a couple of places that I traditionally was a treat to always go and eat just when I was there. And I really didn't overdo it. But like for breakfast, I had bacon, biscuits, gravy, eggs, grits. And then that evening, I had like other things that I don't normally eat. And I want you to know that I was miserable for 2 days. And I asked Mom, I was like, did I overeat? And she said, no, I was watching you, but I think it's just that for 2 years now, I've been on the Take Shape for Life. And so my body is used to the nutrition that I've been getting that I haven't got my whole life. And it just totally objected when I put that food in there. I was miserable for days, and I learned a lesson.
A short story, Lisa, because I really haven't had time to ask you the question, but you called me about your doctor. And obviously something happened in there that made him question you about what you've been doing. Can you tell us what went on there?
Yes, I've been seeing a pain management doctor, and I hadn't been there in a few months. And he came in and he said, wow, you look great. And I was sharing with him about the weight that I had lost. And the last time I was there, I had mentioned the Medifast. And this time I actually talked to him a good bit about it, about health-wise and the convenience. And he said, well, I really need to lose some weight and do some changing. So I got his email address, and he's very interested. So I need to get back with him and get him information. The interesting thing is that he's a doctor. He has a big office. And like every time I'm in there, I share about this. And everybody tells me, well, I need to lose weight. I need to go healthy. So I'm thinking that as how this blossoms out, that maybe he'll get on it and he'll start getting healthy. And that'll blossom out to the people in the office, especially his wife. His wife is really, really heavy. So the fact that he's a doctor and he's interested, because I shared a little bit about Dr. A, that really made me feel good.
Oh,
So
that's great. And I'll get with you and I'll get you some material that you can pass on to them. So we're going to continue with our little gathering of friends. I really like that when we all get to share something that's personal. And we're going to go over the healthy games. We've got a few changes in there, and I think probably for the best. And we're going to take the next lesson in the Beyond Your Biology, and we'll share a success story at the end. The statements, the unfinished statements that I have here, the reason I joined the challenge is, the person who invited me to the challenge is, if I knew I couldn't fail, my goal would be, and the reason I didn't join the challenge this time is, and what I really want to share is. And I'm going to say the person who invited me to the challenge was my own health coach, and she has her own room in the challenge. And initially, we were going to all put our members into one room together, but we have separated off to where I have me and my coaches in this room, and my coach has her room with her other challengers in it. So we're actually competitors now. But the health coaches that are in this challenge, in this room and in every other room, they sign up just like any challenger does. We pay our entrance fee and we come in here, and we are in here for the support as much as you are. I am in here for the support as much as you are. I need it probably more than most of you do. And so I am very grateful for Gabe for telling me about these challenges, and because she told me about the challenges, all of you got to learn about the challenges. So that's what I would share tonight. Is anybody else ready to share?
Connie, just that I think I'm going exactly through what Tony went through, because I have never had a problem going to the bathroom, and I haven't gone for 4 days, and I'm at my wit's end. So I just got some stuff that a doctor recommended, and it's what they use when you're going to have a colonoscopy. But and like you, my sister and brother-in-law was here. We wanted to go out to eat. We went out to eat for what, four days in a row, twice a day. And I've gotten really, and then the stress with what's going on with Dick and I'm not doing well. I mean, and I am really going I have got to change some things because I am just, well, I like with Tony, I didn't realize how serious it was of not eating. I mean, I knew it, but I wasn't following it. And so with what everybody was saying in here, I really got to, I've gone back on the 5 and 1 more or less.
Well, good, Marsh. I'll
Yeah.
come back tomorrow and visit. We'll talk some more.
Okay.
Deb, you want to share something?
I've done the same thing Martha's doing. And been there 4 or 5 days. Boy, it was terrible.
Changes.
You're involved with medicine, so I'm sure that's affecting you in a lot of ways. Well, let me share right now that my daughter that helped us at the hospital, she has I have a granddaughter, her daughter, that has cystic fibrosis, and so she's always medicated, and she uses something called Miralax. I don't know if anybody else has heard that, but she literally gives that to Sierra every night. And then my youngest daughter, that's a pediatrics oncology nurse, she's checking on Tony, and I'm telling her that Janine told me to get that for her. And she says, yes, she uses that with children that she has in chemo and radiation too. And it doesn't, it's not a laxative, but it is something that creates a softer stool. And you can take it on a regular basis without it harming you. So it's called Miralax, if anybody thinks that that would help, Miralax. It might be a good thing to incorporate occasionally into your life, especially if you've gone a day and need some help.
My mother used Miralax. She also used Calm, C-A-L-M.
Mm-hmm. I've used Calm. I actually have Calm in the house. Barbara is the one who turned me on to Calm.
Yeah.
What is it? P-A-L-M?
C-A-L-M. But don't just follow the instructions. Don't take too much.
Absolutely. And I'll tell you more about that tomorrow. Dorothy, you want to take the next one?
Wow. If I knew I couldn't fail, my goal would be to plan my menu for the next 6 weeks. I'm working on it.
I think we all use that. I'm working on it.
It's so hard when you have a busy schedule to make sure you eat properly if you don't have it planned. And that means have it purchased, have it planned, and be ready. And I'm bad at that. I'm really bad at that. And that is my goal in this challenge, to try to plan and follow through with my plan, because that last minute stuff, you don't eat what you're supposed to eat.
Yeah.
Just don't do it.
I do. I do better when I plan. There's no doubt about it.
So pray for me.
The National Registry for Weight Loss, people who have lost more than 50 pounds and kept it off for over 5 years, that's one of the things they all have in common, is that they do meal planning. I found that interesting when I was seeing that data on that. Thank you, Dorothy. Hey, Marcia, you want to go now?
Yeah, the reason I didn't join the challenge this time, I really don't have a good reason. I will do
that one.
I will do the next one. I guess I'm just lazy. I didn't feel like doing the computer work every day. I don't know. It's a poor excuse.
I will tell you there's only 5 now.
Really?
They have condensed all the points down to 5. You can still get in, you know. It's really nice. It makes some nice changes, but it's up to you.
But I'll do the next one, definitely.
Yeah. Take the break. It's fine. Who's next?
I'll go.
Go ahead.
All right. The reason I joined the challenge is twofold. One, I'm going back to work next week, and I work the month of May. And 2, the accountability will make me pay more attention to what I'm doing, even though I'm going to be working and stressed out. So I really feel that I need this accountability, and I need the support that I get from the group. Get me through this next testing time, that I'll be working today.
I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
Who's next?
Well, the reason why I joined the challenge is like her, I need accountability, I need the support,
Mhm.
and I need the reminders to drink my water, to exercise, and to plan my meals. And I always have a terrible problem because I have my son and his family live with me, and it's other people, and it's hard to stay on a program when there's so many other people involved that don't want to.
Yeah.
They don't want to eat right, they all want to have their snacks and goodies,
Yeah.
but it makes me feel better. It makes me think about what I'm going to eat. And yeah, I'm like Liz. I have eaten the wrong things. And yeah, and I feel bad after I do it. And I'm going, why did I do that? But it helps me to have y'all back there behind me and to, like I say, do my homework every night.
Yeah.
That helps me a lot.
I agree. Who's next?
Who hasn't gone?
Have you gone, Lisa?
No.
Why don't you go ahead and go?
Okay. Choices. What I really want to share is that I just love these challenges so much, and I want to tell everybody just how grateful I am. I know a lot of people are talking about the accountability and the support. That's especially important to me right now because I'm not working, I'm going through a divorce, and I'm by myself. So really, this is not only my support for my health, this is my social outlet. I hope that doesn't sound too pathetic, but y'all are my friends.
Huh.
My name is Sarah Flake, and I'm so honored to be a part of your Take Shape for Life coaching.
Can't hear.
What's that?
That was my.
You okay, Lisa?
Yeah, I just want to thank you all so much because I really enjoy when we're not in the challenge, we connect through Huddle Up, but I call these Zooms because they really lift me up, and I just wanted to just thank everybody so much because I appreciate all of you.
Oh,
We
Well,
do.
there's nothing pathetic, and I will tell you that Lisa lives in the country, really has been disassociated with everybody for years.
Uh-huh.
And I know why this is so important to her because she really had been out of touch, and she's no longer out of touch. So this has really been a lifesaver for her. Jennifer, you want to participate?
Sorry, I was waking my husband up. He has to go to work anymore. Do I want to participate? Well, you know why I didn't join this night. I've got a lot going on right now, but I feel these meetings are great. That's why I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
I don't want to disappoint you, so that makes me be here too.
Thank you.
Makes me feel a little more accountable because I have a mother who actually cares.
Yeah.
Need one of those in my life, right?
Mm-hmm. If you knew you couldn't fail, what would your goal be?
If I knew I couldn't fail, my goal would be, I like the meal plan idea. I think that would actually help me not fail.
And it's good. Yeah.
I like that idea.
All right. Okay, we're going to move on. Thank you. Did we get everybody? I think so. Speak up if we didn't. Okay. Come on, little screen go. Oops, go backwards. Now I got to go backwards. So, a little bit of explanation for people who are new they're not here, but they will see this in the recorded version. And Take Shape for Life has married to MetaFast, and they have a 3-pronged program, which is the free health coach, the habits of health learning, and the MetaFast 5-in-1 program. The Meltdown Challenge and Take Shape for Life are totally separate of each other, but Meltdown Challenge is filled with people who have lost weight on the program, become coaches on the program, and we're all in here keeping doing what we're doing, but bringing other people along with us. And so this was a great marriage of marrying these two companies together. Know the rules. Let's run over real quick the important dates and Okay.
Excuse me.
So everybody in here understands the weight, meeting the weight and the point goal, and I've covered that with everybody that's new. The weigh-in ends, that would be an important date to know, and that's April the 24th for those that haven't weighed out yet. The Health Game Challenge ends May the 22nd, 6 weeks from now. Inviting ends on April 24th, the last day you can weigh in, and then we'll do some of that. Where the money goes, is worth covering, and 50% of the ante goes in the winner's pool, and that's used for the people who win the challenge. You've got gifts that are being given out. 25% of the total pool is for incentives and prizes, and they give scholarships for becoming a health coach and for becoming a Take Shape for Life client. And that pool runs out, then that's done. And 25% of the total pool goes to Meltdown Challenge. That's what they get for all the technology, all the people who work behind the scenes. And I think they've earned that, and it only gets better with each one. The side contests that they're doing now with taking the pictures, the water bottle, your pantry, and all of that, you know, that's just another way to get motivated and to do some stuff. Let's go back to our PowerPoint. Emails. I just posted in the, and Gail is so kind to give me 3 emails that we can all use, and they never make it to my list. I have them written on a piece of paper, and then by the time I get to the list, I don't have the piece of paper anymore. But I took and posted all of these in the room, which means you got them on an email. So you have addresses to put on your invites. If you've got some, yeah. Oh, look, we're in 10th place already. That's pretty cool. The last time I looked, that number was like 48. Oh, so that's good. Use these as a last resort as long as you've got names of people to invite people you think that would enjoy this. And I also would encourage people to just make people aware. That's not so much to say you should do it or anything like that. But if people start learning a little bit at a time, I've seen people over time. Lisa's one that heard about it. And I think Cheryl heard about it. Some people jumped right in. But I think by having the conversation and letting people know that there's something like this available to them, that maybe eventually it might appeal to them. Maybe probably not even the first time. But I think this is important enough to share because it helps so many people. So that's where you can get your invites. Let's see, I guess that's it that I have on this screen. And the water bottle contest, it's over with on the 24th. Ronnie and Leslie in our room, I keep meaning to, but life has gotten busy. But I really am going to go take that water bottle shot. I think Lisa won. What did you win a water bottle for, Lisa?
The most texting in the team room.
Oh, okay.
Challenges ago.
Okay.
You know, it's awful hard to take a selfie of you drinking water. I'm going to have to gather somebody up to take a picture of me because I want to get in these contests.
Yeah, you're good about the contest. So in this contest, 5 challengers who submit their photos, they will get the water bottle, $34.99 value. I think it's the winner getting selected. That's the exciting part. And then now they're also doing the take a snap. Lisa, see, you can do that like that. That's a selfie. And they've got some cool ones that are in there, so check the challenge wall and do it. And we have had a lot of people selected in these contests for different things and that they give away. We've had, I think, 3 Fitbits in our room. We've had winners of 3 Fitbits. Meltdown Challenge, their belief system, you lose, we give. I really love when I'm dealing on the leadership side of this with this company because everything about them, these are people who had technology background. They found this great program and they thought that something like this would just make it better. Dr. Anderson wasn't on board with this, I'd say the first year. I don't know about Dorothy. Was it like just the first year? Did Dr. Anderson get into it and involved like the second year?
Yeah, I think it was at least 2 years.
2 years. I was thinking it might even be a little bit longer, but it took them a little bit of convincing. And they have started doing these meals that they give to people as a benefit, and it's based on how many people meet their weight goal and their points goal. At the Meltdown Challenge, we believe that people can change. We've helped thousands of people change their health. Now we want to help to change the world. We believe that good business should help people. For us, this means changing habits, changing lives, and making the world a better place. We know how to help people lose weight. Now we want to help to feed the hungry. We've chosen Feed My Starving Children because that's what they do. Donations to Feed My Starving Children go directly towards putting food in the mouths of starving children. Each meal packed and sent and served to a hungry child makes a difference. We're out to change the world one life at a time. A hungry world, the Feed My Starving Children numbers for 2014, at least 6,200 children died from starvation every day. More than 229 million Feed My Starving Children meals were produced. Nearly 900,000 packed Feed My Starving Children meals. Food scientists designed the monopack meals of Feed My Starving Children to reverse and prevent malnutrition. Volunteers pack the meals. Feed My Starving Children provide free meals to clinics, schools, orphanage, and refugee programs around the world. So what you donate is directly impacting that. So you become part of that. We did the first lesson in Beyond Your Biology last week. So what we're going to do is the next two lessons, and the So my dashboard, let's go here. So we're going to do the next two. One is let's go Beyond Biology. Do you know what this is? Were you here last time? This is a course that I took online, and is through Dr. Deepak Chopra and Dr. Andrew Will. They're doctors who are renowned in health. And this program is the first one they've put on, and you really get to learn things that can influence your health. So we're going to do lesson 2 today, reprogram your genes. I heard the bird.
Sounded like a cat.
It is.
Oh, it is.
Only 5%
Get out.
of disease-related gene mutations are fully penetrant, which means in only 5% of diseases, there's a 1-to-1 correspondence between the gene mutation and the disease. We're talking about disease-related gene mutations, not mutations for, you have a gene for blue eyes and somebody else has a gene for brown eyes, or you have blonde hair and somebody has black hair. We're not talking about that. Those are different variations. A mutation is a variation in a gene, in the sequence of DNA. And those variations sometimes can cause disease. But only 5% of them do so. The rest, 95%, increase your risk factor but do not predict the disease, which means that you can actually influence the expression of those genes. And that includes genes for Alzheimer's, heart disease, diabetes, many types of cancer. But we have to be precise. 95% of disease-related gene mutations can be influenced through lifestyle factors. These include things like sleep, stress management, meditation, yoga, pranayama, movement, emotions, and most importantly, food as well, because the food has direct interaction with your microbiome, which is your second genome, which speaks to your human genome through what we call metabolites. So this is a complicated science, but the good news is that only 5% of disease-related gene mutations for any chronic illness are fully penetrant. You've heard of BRCA gene for breast cancer. That's a fully penetrant gene mutation. But most breast cancers are not due to fully penetrant gene mutations, just like most of Alzheimer's is not due to a fully penetrant gene mutation. Is the fact that only 5% of disease-related gene mutations a paradigm shift? It probably is. We didn't know this a decade ago. So now the paradigm shift is actually understanding this what I call the super genome, which is the integrated action between your gene expression, your microbiome, and what we call epigenetics. So we have 23,000 genes, and these express themselves in response to everything we do. There's no experience that we have that does not influence gene expression. But for these 23,000 genes, you have a second genome, which is 3.3 million genes that come from bacteria of approximately 2,000 species, which represent the ecosystem of the planet. So that's your second genome. And then there's a third component, which is the epigenome. Epi means above. So the epigenome is a sheath of proteins. They go by interesting names like histones and others. And these proteins are originally created by our genes, but then they in turn influence gene expression. And these proteins, the epigenome, respond to every experience we have. Now, to complicate all that, we also have something called intergenic DNA, which produces something called microRNA, which in turn influences gene expression. And these gene expressions are influenced by what are called epigenetic marks. Epigenetic marks are introduced to the whole gene activity through any experience. So let's say you have a lot of stress, you may create epigenetic marks, which means certain genes will be silenced, some will be activated, certain genes will be increased in their activity, some will decrease in their activity. So your genes function both like thermostats or rheostats and also function like light switches. You can turn them on and off, you can increase the volume, decrease the volume. All this responding to experience, any experience, psychological experience, experience in social interactions, personal relationships, experience eating food, experience you're having right now as you're listening to this conversation. So all experiences influence gene expression through the microbiome, through epigenetics, and through gene expression. So in a sense, this is a paradigm shift because we used to think of genes as fixed structures. But long ago, actually over 20 years ago, people realized that it's not the genes so much as the activity of the genes that influences whether you're healthy or whether you have an illness. This is good news for the simple reason that how you think, how you feel, how you connect with other people, whether you're happy at work or not, whether you have a good supporting social network of friends and family, the food you eat, how you breathe, whether you meditate or not, how you manage stress, all this influences most of what happens as your genetic activity. So yeah, that's good news.
It sounds a little complicated. It does sound like you can understand it, right?
Only 5% of disease-related gene mutations are fully penetrant,
Okay,
which means in only 5% of disease.
It's the third part actually of the first lesson. We're going to save the fourth part till next week. It's actually 12 minutes and we'll only do one of them. This is only 4 minutes and this picks up where he was talking before. We're almost finished with the first class.
There is a large and growing body of research on how the environment can affect our gene expression. You know, one area that I've looked at is nutrigenomics, which is how specific elements of foods that we eat can modify gene expression. By the way, I think one of the promises of genetic research in the area of nutrigenomics is that we might be able to make more valid recommendations to people of what they should eat and what they shouldn't eat based on their particular genomes. For example, there are compounds in certain foods like tomatoes and soy that can actually turn off genes involved in the expression of prostate cancer. There is remarkable research I've looked at from Japan showing that laughter can turn off genes involved in the expression of type 2 diabetes. I mean, that's amazing. And that certainly runs up against the materialistic paradigm of Western medicine that changes in physical systems have to have physical causes. So I think the The overall message I take away from this research is that there are many epigenetic factors, that is, factors outside of the genome, that influence the expression of genes and really determine our health.
The Chopra Foundation is working with many universities, including scientists at Harvard Medical School, at Scripps Translational Institute, at UCSF, at UCSD, at Duke University, and also scientists at Mount Sinai in New York. We've looked already at the effects of meditation on gene expression, on the enzyme telomerase, which regulates our genetic aging. And we found that with the practice of meditation, in people who attended the Seduction of Spirit course, there was a 40% increase in telomerase, an anti-aging effect at the genetic level. We also looked at gene expression. We found that all the genes that are responsible for self-regulation, homeostasis, they went up, sometimes even 17-fold over baseline. All the genes that were responsible for too much inflammation, which means that they are indirectly related to diseases, Alzheimer's, diabetes, obesity, heart disease, autoimmune illnesses, certain types of cancer, they all went down. So this is our first study. Now we have a second study that is in progress. It's called SBTI, which stands for Self-Directed Biological Transformation Initiative. And this is using the participants at the Perfect Health Program to measure all the things we measured previously, but also the microbiome, also something called metabolomics, all the metabolites in the body, lipidomics, we're studying that, all the lipids in the body, inflammatory markers, and actually we are collecting terabytes of data. Terabytes means trillions of bits of data. So it's going to be a lot of work, a lot of scientific collaborations, and a lot of use of supercomputers to analyze this data. The program Perfect Health incorporates meditation, yoga, pranayam, movement, sleep, conscious communication, detox with fiber, and also with herbs, and a shift in diet. For the last 30 years, I've promoted a consciousness-based approach to health, well-being, healing. And I think once the data is out, we will see that the future of medicine is going to be quite different. It's going to be all based on consciousness and its components, which includes, of course, food, diet, herbs, supplements, but also all the other components. And there'll always be room for pharmaceutical intervention for those 5% of disease-related gene mutations that have a one-to-one correspondence. And those pharmaceuticals will not be the kinds of pharmaceuticals we use today, which interfere with disease mechanisms. But because we'll be looking at the biochemical pathways that result in these abnormal biochemical reactions in the body, we'll be looking at a new category of pharmaceuticals that either stimulate the biochemical pathways in the body or block them. That's in the future.
There we go. So you're almost through with the first week. When they talked about telomerase and it being an anti-aging, telomerase are like what the end cap of a shoestring that has that plastic on it, and over time those wear away, and when you no longer have a telomerase, you no longer have life. They're directly correlated with how long you live. They can look at a telomerase and know how long you're going to live. And I found that interesting when they said that it improves 17% with meditation. I've been doing meditation faithfully every day, quiet meditation in the morning, 30 minutes when I get up, just simply because of that one statement. And it takes planning, just like the meals, to get up and to do that. So now we're going to do our last part, which is our success story for today. And that's going to be Joe Streno.
Hi. Hi, my name is Joe, and this is my story. I've had problems with my weight my entire adult life. 6 months ago, I was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. It was a wake-up call. In my initial exam, my blood glucose level was 425, which is over 4 times normal. I was immediately put on metformin and a couple other drugs to help bring my glucose level down. It was also suggested that I see a nutritionist, and I made an appointment immediately. This is me 6 months ago at 261 pounds, before I saw my new nutritionist, Janet Blum. We both knew that I needed to lose weight through diet and exercise. Janet is also a coach for Take Shape for Life, and she's the one who introduced me to the program. As Janet explained the program, it sounded too good to be true. It took me a week to finally make the decision, but boy, am I glad I did. Fast forward 6 months. This is me at 168 pounds. I've lost 93 pounds on Take Shape for Life. It's nothing short of a miracle. At 55, I'm doing things I never thought I could do again. I'm back at the gym every other day. I bought a boogie board this summer. I took my first surfing lesson. I'm taking 10 to 20 mile bike rides, speed walking 5 miles at a time. It's just amazing. I'm in the best shape of my life. And from this gift of renewed health, I've decided to become a Take Shape for Life coach and pay this thing forward. This journey started 6 months and 93 pounds ago, and it doesn't stop here. I have the tools to be able to carry this on for the rest of my life. Take Shape for Life works, and I'm living proof.
Very good.
Voila. Now, Dorothy, do you have a habit of health call that you'd like to cover with us tonight?
Well, I do.
That would be wonderful.
And it was very interesting. It was
every day.
Oh, let me get rid of that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
They live in Utah, and of course, Amber Smithson is his wife. And the first thing he said was he asked a question or made a statement, and it says, everyone makes the best possible choice available to them at the moment, which is until we know better, we do what we do, okay? And health is about awareness, learning to be aware. And he talked about writing down your goals. How would they look? If you were going to reach your goal, how would you look? And then also, not only how would you look, but how would you feel? And that's something, you know, when you write down your goals, if you don't put in how you would feel when you are at that point where you're thinking about your goals, how you feel about them is going to be more important than how you look. He also said, and this is, you know, Dr. Anderson's suggestion, you make a list of 5 to 10 things that would help support your goals, and then you make a list of 5 to 10 things that push you away from your goals. Did you ever see the advertisement where there's an angel on one shoulder and there's a devil on the other shoulder?
Yeah.
Well, those are your own 2 voices.
Mm-hmm.
Although your coach can be helping with the angel voice, but really, when you're faced with a dilemma, am I going to do it or am I not going to do it? Those 2, the devil and the angel on your shoulder, are really your own voice, and you're making a decision, you're making a choice based on who you're going to follow at that moment. And then he said, if you hold something else to be true, how would that change your life? And he gave an example of, you're at a party, there's a veggie tray with protein, and next to it is all desserts. Okay, the unhealthy you would have probably chosen those desserts. But, and you would say to yourself, well, it'll make me feel better, because of course every time you did something good when you were growing up, your parents would say, let's go for ice cream. And you got into the habit of being rewarded for all kinds of things. But anyway, But what would the healthy you say? And then you can base your choice on which of you, the unhealthy or the healthy, is going to make that choice. Now, if someone were to offer you a drug, you would be able to say to them, no, I'm not going to take that. I'm not talking about a prescribed drug. I'm talking about a drug. So when someone says to you, I made this cake for you, I made this pie for you, I did this for you, and you know it's not good for your health, just like a drug wouldn't be good for your health. Think about that when you say to them, no, thank you. I don't think I want that right now. And then he said, surround yourself with support. Very important. And Amber Smithson got on there, and she said that she's a foodie. And I had to listen again to see what she was saying. She said she's always been a foodie, which means that she always prided herself in presenting elaborate food whenever she had anything. That was part of her personality. And she said she had a funeral for her foodie personality. And now it saves her a lot of time, and she's living a healthier life because of it. And they've been able to keep their weight off for 7 years.
Wow.
And he also talked about, they live in Utah, and they have colleges there that put their emblems of their school up on the mountain, and then there's paths that lead to these whatever letter it is. Say it's a W, but this particular one is a Y. So he takes his 2 sons for a trip, and the one son is just dragging along. He said, this isn't the right road. This isn't the right road. And they kept saying, yeah, just keep on going. And he got to where he saw the Y. And he got all full of energy because he knew he was on the right road. Well, we have to find our why.
Wow.
Very good.
I thought it was a very good call.
Which call was this, Dorothy?
It was Jared Smithson's Habits of Health call.
Okay, I'll look for it and I'll post it in the room.
I don't know how you're going to look for it, Connie, because they've changed the system, and the only way you can get it is a podcast, and it wasn't on a podcast.
Mm.
So I don't know how we are going to get these messages after the fact.
I'll get Inspector Clouseau to help me. Well, I enjoyed this tonight. Did you guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, great. And so, does anyone want to change the Zoom to Wednesday, or?
Say goodbye. My granddaughter's calling.
Go ahead, honey. Or go ahead and keep it Tuesday. Does anyone have any feelings on that?
Either or is good.
Whichever's easiest for you.
Oh, it doesn't matter to me. Then I won't make any changes because, I was going to see with the people who showed up on Wednesday if it made a difference if it was Wednesday or Tuesday.
Well,
I know there's. Say again?
One Tuesday a month I can't come. So.
I know, and I hate that. And we miss our Habits of Health call because of that. Yeah. Well, listen, guys, I'm going to let you go. Marsh, I hope you feel better. I'm going to come see you tomorrow. I'm off, so I'll have some time.
Bye, everybody. And
All right, good night.
Jennifer, thank you for coming, honey. We'll see you next week.
Okay.
Thank you, Marsha.
Good night.
Good night. Thank you, Lisa. Thank you, Cheryl.
And everyone.